Facebook friends, let's talk about karma. Let me close out some of this stuff so we can get going. Make sure that you are following and unmuting so you can hear me. All right? Wonderful. Well, let's just dive right in. I am so excited. I am on my brand new laptop, my MacBook Air with a 1080p camera. So my videos should be much clearer, crystal clear, and I'm looking forward to sharing the experience with you as we dive into karma. Most people think they know what karma is, but don't have a clue. Take a minute and assess for yourself. What is your experience regarding karma? How intimate are you with the fundamentals of karma and how it actually functions? Because there is a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of confusion and everything else. So we're going to dive into that and clear it up for you today. Does that sound like a good idea? Let me get some feedback from you in the comments. I love hearing from you guys down below. We are here to explore. Let's explore 3 things you don't know about karma, but should. Starting with the first most important one, which is, do you believe in karma? That is the most important. That's before we explore the 3 things. Because if you don't believe in karma, that's not going to help you. It's still, it is a fundamental of being human. We all go through it, whether we're aware we're going through it or not. Obviously, the ideal is to be present, to be aware as we go through our karma, as we clean up your house, right? That's the whole idea. Get yourself back in integrity by handling some of that karma that you have created in your life. So let me hear from you. Do you believe in karma? And if you do, what do you believe karma is? What do you believe it's not? Let's start a little conversation here, because that's where we all can grow and evolve together. Because I don't know everything, and I'll be the last person to tell you that I know everything. In fact, just a little heads up, if you ever run into a know-it-all in the world, exclaiming that they know it all, then run as far as you can in the opposite direction, because they are headed for a disaster. The only place to really thrive in life is in the present moment. And when we live and operate in the present moment, our mind is quiet. We, in essence, don't know anything. That's where you get the idea of no mind when it comes to meditation, because really that is the ultimate goal. So let's dive into that a little bit deeper. Whoa, that's an interesting facial feature. That was fun. Did you like that pose? Wow. Holy smokes. That was a trip. Okay, I'm back. So I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear, but let me just throw up the title real quick so you're on the same page with me here, right? Let's explore 3 things you don't know about karma that you should. And as always, I so appreciate you attending and being here live, especially. If you're catching the replay, I would love to know that. You can always drop a hashtag replay down below so that you let me know. That gives me a chance to circle back and see if you have any unanswered questions after watching the replay. So right now, why is that so ginormous? Doesn't need to be that big, but I guess it is. I'll have to work on that and see if I can't figure out how to make that smaller. But for right now, please show your support by following, obviously, my profile, my page, liking and sharing. You know what to do to show your gratitude and appreciation to the people you follow on Facebook. I don't need to belabor it. Throw some hearts up there. Definitely comment. And anytime you gain anything of value that shows up in my presentation, if you could drop a hashtag found fun, that will let me know that I should deliver more of that in the future, because it's of particular value to somebody. And the more I understand what is of value to you, the more I can tailor these weekly live videos to suit your needs, which is my goal. I'm building a tribe. I am building a community, and I'm gathering people far and wide that are different. We'll just call it that. They are definitely not status quo. They don't fall in line very well. They tend to be mavericks. I love working with die-hard experts and entrepreneurs. And those kind of people usually don't get a 9-to-5 job and join the herd. So if that's you, I love you. I appreciate you. And I wish you well. But this might not be the right place for you. This is a place for bold visionaries to launch into the unknown and for them to really realize their fullest potential here on earth as a human being. That shit is exciting. Excuse my French, but I don't care. I love curse words. They're full of life. They're full of passion. Nothing gets people's attention like cursing. So you're going to hear it here. And if that's going to be a problem, let me know. Okay. That thing just kept going and going, right? Anytime you find value, anytime you hear or experience value, drop a hashtag found fun to let me know. Okay. Well, I can't just ask you to come watch my video for a half hour, hour long, and then not give you anything in return. So in order to express my gratitude, I've got to make that thing smaller. It is so huge. As a thank you to those who attended this live or the replay and join my free private Facebook group, will receive a complimentary taste of a present moment perspective with me one-on-one over the phone. There is simply no better place to operate from than the present moment. Even the present moment, there's a lot of confusion around that. The same way there is confusion around karma. So my goal here is to clear up the confusion so that people can start tapping into and accessing their innate powers, their superhuman powers as the beings they are. Okay, turn that off, that big giant scroller. Yeah, get yourself at that complimentary firsthand experience of a present moment perspective. It is life-changing. If you happen to have gotten one of those from me in the past, drop something down in the comments and let me know what your experience was like. Inspire others to give it to themselves as well. So in order to get that complimentary firsthand experience of a present moment perspective, head over to my free private Facebook group, answer all the membership questions. And when you're done, then, this is slow, then leave a hashtag done down below to let me know that you've joined my group. When I see it, I will send you a personal message with my calendar link to, I did not copy that right. With a calendar link to schedule was the word that got missed here. Hold on. Schedule. to schedule it. Yes, my ask today on this live value video is for you to join my free Facebook group. I'm gearing up to do a lot more exclusive things in my private Facebook group that you won't find anywhere else. So please head on over and join my Facebook group by answering the membership questions. And when you're done, just go ahead and on this video, drop a hashtag done to alert me that you joined the group. And then I can send you out a message with my calendar link so we can schedule that complimentary one-on-one firsthand experience of a present moment perspective. I can't say enough about it. I could sit here and sell it to you all day, but it is the true value comes from the experience. And if you know anything about experience, oftentimes words fall short. What is the saying? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, that same thing goes with an experience. I would say an experience is worth 1,000 words and then some. So trying to describe an experience is very challenging, and that's what we're talking about when it comes to a present moment perspective. So forgive me for not selling you nonstop on the virtue of a present moment perspective, but I can promise you this: once you have had the experience, there's no going back. Kind of like taking the pill in the Matrix. All right, let me put this thing out of here. So large. Okay, let me check here, see what's going on. Who's here? Hey there. It's nice to see you. I'm glad that you came. All right, drop some comments down below. Let me know where you're from. That's always interesting, right? What are you passionate about? I like to hear these things from my viewers. And who am I? Well, I liken myself to this guy. What does that mean to you? Sometimes the truth is so sublimely simple, we can overlook it easily. It is rarely complicated. It's often fundamental or universal. In other words, it applies to everyone. Like karma. There is no hierarchy in the fundamentals of being human. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. In other words, there are certain things we all require. There are certain things we all enjoy. There's certain things we all love. And on top of that is our differences, which are great to celebrate too. But we can't forget about what we have in common. That's what binds us as a community, as a society, is those shared common shared values. America has a common shared value of liberty, justice. These are things that we can all agree are good to have and make a difference in your life. Okay. That's me. Just call me Morpheus. All right, I want to hear from you now. Where are you from? What is your passion? So I'm very deliberate in my life. That is my goal. Not always. And I highly encourage you to make it your goal to live deliberately from awareness. So first off, obviously, I like to see the diversity of my viewers from around the world. So please take a moment to share. Where are you watching from right now? Even if it's the replay, let me hear from you. Where are you watching from? You might make a friend, a local friend here. Also, that's why I'm asking, what are you passionate about? What is your expertise in? Is a more appropriate way to ask that question. What do you have experience in and consider yourself somewhat of an expert in? Obviously, if that's the case, there's probably a lot of passion driving you. And I'm asking you to share that down below so that we can build this tribe and community. Who know? You never know who you might run into down below in the comments. Your passion, your expertise might be exactly what another viewer is looking for. So don't underestimate the opportunity to network when you're on social media and just simply interacting, watching various live streams, scrolling through groups, pages, things like that. It's a great opportunity to, if anything, at the very least, practice your networking skills, your human, your people skills. Isn't that what they call it? Your people skills. Excellent. Okie dokie do. Next up, what do we get? And it's just going to keep piling those on top of each other. No wonder so many people are turned off by spirituality with all the confusing and conflicting information. Do you see this? First of all, let me know for sure if you happen to be a light worker yourself. If you are serving the greater good, we need to align. All of us, all light workers need to align on serving the greater good. We have to check our egos at the door and our personal desires momentarily, temporarily, and align on the bigger purpose of getting this species, humanity, across the finish line. We are in some of the most challenging times galactically, cosmically, that humanity has ever encountered, especially here in America. We're actually in the Pluto retrograde. I don't get too deep into astrology. It's another form of information you can utilize to gather and help yourself understand what you're experiencing. But right now, Pluto is Pluto is retrograded into Capricorn. It is right around the corner. God, I hate this thing. Corner from being in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius has not happened since 1776, when the Declaration of Independence was signed and we told the most powerful nation on this planet, the monarchy of Britain, we no longer wanted to be invested with them. We wanted to be our own people, our own country, our own system. Well, guess what? We are back in that time. How exciting. So yeah, do some review of American history, especially around the time of the Revolution, because it really never dawned on me until I went through what I'm going through right now, which is super challenging. I don't know about anybody else out there. Myself, I am an Aquarius. Even though it's super challenging, it's also really rewarding, which is the weirdest part of all. It's like there's just no more peace to be found. Everything's so dynamic at this point. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, yeah. So I had to go through what I've been going through, especially like in the last 2 days, 3 days, last week. It's really been speeding up, really getting intense. And until I went through that, I didn't realize that during the revolution, there were some low points. There were some dark points when they weren't quite sure they were going to make it. And it's important to realize that, because that is part of the big picture of the journey and the process in life, right? I'm going to turn this off because I'm sure it's bothering you. You want something widgety like here? You can have my snakes. Okay. I wish I could change that color. I didn't realize until what I've been experiencing recently that there were some really low points right after the Declaration of Independence. That was probably a high point. I mean, what an ecstatic experience. That's like telling your parents to basically F off. I'm my own man now. And that must have felt really great. But then after that was the logistics and the reality of that declaration. We got to form an army. We got to form some sort of organization here in America, some sort of collective, unified sort of government, so that, because individually each colony would never have been able to stand up against the might of the British Empire. It had to be a unified declaration. It had to be a unified front, and that's really something important to realize about our country. Our greatest superpower in America is the union. It is the only thing that makes us great, is a union based on common cause. And to be aware of that is to also be aware that there are a lot of forces at work right now, both foreign and domestic, that would have us be divided. Divide and conquer. Ever heard of the saying? Yeah, it's playing out right now in a very real way. So instead of playing into their hands by disagreeing with your fellow Americans and being divisive, start cultivating more cooperation, more unification, because that's what we need to do as individuals collectively. Understand that your life, I might not approve of your life, and you might not approve of my life. Well, guess what? That's none of my business, nor is my life any of your business. As long as I'm not harming another individual, another human being physically, then I don't believe, that is the beauty of America, is that it's a very tolerant place because we stick to the fundamentals of being human, and things like liberty and justice, limited government, right? We don't want our government to replace the King of Britain, right? That was not a good situation. That's why we declared independence. And so we don't want to go back there. We want to maintain the autonomy that we fought so valiantly to create, to have, right? You always hear about people fighting for our freedom or fighting to protect our freedom. Well, that's kind of the sense of it. Anyway, after the Declaration of Independence, it was a very dark time. 1777, you had Valley Forge, which decimated the Continental Army. You had the Articles of Confederation didn't really work out, so they had to create a constitution. It was in the middle of summer, no AC in Philadelphia, humid as AF, and took like 3 years to hash out the Constitution of these United States, the states of America. So we're reliving that right now. I really appreciate you letting me have that tangent for a quick minute. Okay, let's get on this thing. We're talking about karma, and I need to stay on topic, right? Geez, karma, the karma of the King of Britain, right, was losing his colony. Okay, yeah. No wonder so many people are turned off by spirituality with all the confusing and conflicting information out there. Do you see it? I see it. I see it every day. One of the biggest ones is that our thoughts create our reality. Like, come on. What idiot came up with this idea that our thoughts create our reality? I want you to stop for 1 second and just become aware of your thoughts. They're running a million miles a minute. Maybe not so much right now. Your mind might be calm, but under stress, those thoughts are running a million miles a minute. And I'm telling you, if that was what was manifesting my reality, we would all be in trouble. Not just me. We would all be in trouble because I have certainly had my fair share of dark thoughts, random, out of the blue dark thoughts. And it's like, whoa, that was dark. Thank God it didn't manifest. So, yes, absolutely, emphatically, and empirically, our thoughts do not create our reality. You want to challenge me on that? I am happy to have a constructive conversation about that fundamental of being human. It would be actually kind of fun if you happen to be very ardent about the viewpoint that our thoughts create our reality. Reach out to me. Let's have a good old-fashioned debate on the merits. Right? Okay. Let's explore 3 things you don't know about karma, but should. Right? Karma, karma, karma. It's so funny. All right. Ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's go. Numero uno. Number 1. Remember, we're talking about karma here. I should throw that up there. I wonder. I can't get that thing to work. All right. I got to figure out why I can't write on those. I was going to write karma on there just to, keep your attention on the subject that we're covering here. All right. Karma, right? Number 1, it is not personal. It is impersonal. Yes. This is probably one of the bigger pills to swallow, at least for the ego. I'm not here to dive into the ego. I have some great videos regarding the fundamentals of the ego and how it operates. If you'd like some of that, let me know down below. Reach out, send me a message, drop a comment, let me know that you want to better understand how the human ego operates, and I'll get that out to you. But for right now, we're staying here and we're focusing on how one of the biggest pills for the ego, which takes everything personal, one of the biggest pills for the ego to swallow is this one. Karma is not personal. It is impersonal. It doesn't care about you at all. Did I say that loud enough? Am I clear in the point that I'm making? Karma doesn't care about you at all. It cares about the universe, keeping the universe in order and balanced. That's its purpose. So it's not playing favorites. Everybody gets dealt equally from karma their just dues, their just treats. And that all is based on all their past actions leading up to this moment right now. So one of the big arguments I'll often get from people when it comes to I create my reality, which is fundamental in my life, and it is fundamental to the found fun discovery process too. A lot of the objections or pushback that I get in proposing the viewpoint I'm responsible, I create my reality, is I'll hear people talk about babies and children, and they'll be like, they always get very, very, what is it, the vapors? Is that what they called it back in the day? You mean, are you telling me that little baby created being raped or kidnapped or murdered, or that little child created that? No, I am not saying that, because what I am saying is karma is impersonal. It doesn't care any more about that little baby or that little child, that poor, innocent, sweet little child. Doesn't care any more about that than that mean, cranky, evil, nasty, old, grumpy man. And in karma's eyes, those are the same. They're all the same. So certainly, isn't it a little bit of a relief to learn that it isn't personal, that it's actually impersonal? Because a lot of awful and horrible things happen to us in our life, happen in the lives of people we care about. And it can be a tough pill to swallow, especially if you're coming from the viewpoint that it's that karma is a personal endeavor, like it's that it's like, yeah, that it has an agenda other than balance, other than stability and grounding, well-being, right? It's a regulating force. That's a great way to describe it. I never described it that way. It is a regulating force. That's what karma is, right? And so that's all it is. And it's constant. It's always functioning. It's always doing its job. It's always showing up, whether you want it to or not, because it's responsibility and job to keep balance in the universe between light and shadow. Well, that job needs to get done. And you can't stand in the way of that. So don't even try, because we're just a drop in the ocean that is directing that governing force of karma, the regulating force of karma. All right, let me hear from you. What is this thing? I gotta turn this down, Nope. Is that Tina popping in? Oh, shucks. That's funny. Can't post going on. No. See, I put that in there and it doesn't show up. Oh, there it is. Nice. Nice. Wonderful. All right. Let me hear your questions in the comments regarding number 1. See, didn't I tell you you were going to learn something you didn't know about karma? This is a huge misperception. How many times do you hear people talking about good karma, bad karma? That's not accurate, because that is, again, a extra layer on top of creation regarding judgment. And judgment is a uniquely human activity. The universe isn't judging. The nature is not judging. It might be discerning. It might be making decisions, but it's not judging things good or bad. So that's the first major misperception, and why I chose this as the number 1 point I wanted to make to you, which is karma is not personal. It works the same for everybody. And when I discovered that, it was a huge relief that the universe wasn't out to get me personally or anybody else. Because look, I wasn't the only one playing victim back then. I had other people. I was surrounded by other people that definitely didn't believe they create their reality and love to play the victim card, right? Oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. I'm the childhood survivor of a triple homicide. I can't function anymore. No, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So it's a good thing to realize on a personal level that karma's not out to get you, but then also when it comes to dealing with other people that might be victim leaning, right? And not personal responsibility leaning. So they might, assert in your presence, like, no, I didn't do that. It's not my fault. It's not my responsibility. I'm not the one that created that. I'm not the one that decided that. I'm just the bystander here. I had nothing to do with it. Well, now you know that's not the truth. The reality is karma affects us all equally. And in fact, at the end of the day, it's a stretch. And I definitely could not prove this empirically, but at the end of the day, it's almost like karma is the force that is creating action, movement, and motion in life. Because as everything unfolds, it's unfolding according to our karma, according to what we need to experience, according to what is our responsibility to experience. It's not personal. Okie doke. It's a great camera. Love it. Number 2, karma. Remember, we're talking about karma. Don't forget. That's what we're exploring here. 3 things that you didn't know, that you don't know about karma, but should. So number 2, it is universal. There is no escape. If you are, who's the richest guy right now? Elon Musk, maybe, or I don't know. If you're a almost trillionaire, a multi-billionaire, 100-billionaire, I don't even know what we call them anymore these days. If you're at the very top in our society and you have $100 billion plus dollars of accumulated assets, that's not going to stop you from experiencing your karma. You could give all of that. Well, as I'm saying that, I'm feeling like that might actually do something, because it was instructed by Jesus, right? Put your wealth in the kingdom of heaven. And one of the acts of that is actually, basically throwing it away. Who's on? Oh, I see. I love it. I get all my comments right here. Okay. Yeah, it is universal. There is no escape. There's no planet, solar system, galaxy far enough away from karma that it doesn't get you. And it's not like that either. In fact, I hope that's in here. I'll address that in the next bullet point. For right now, let's just understand one thing. Karma is universal and it impacts everyone equally. Doesn't mean they're going to have the same experiences. Some people have different karma than other people. There is just no escaping it. The simplest way to describe karma is it's kind of like, give me an analogy. It is kind of like layaway, but not really. Karma is dealing with what has already passed. So it tends to be lagging. Karma is always kind of lagging behind the action that you took that incurred the karma. I'm not going to dive too deep into the fundamentals here because we just don't have time. But I can give you that much when it comes to karma, right? So it's almost like you take an action in your life or you don't take an action in your life. How you feel about that action you're taking is going to directly result in the karma you have to experience after the fact. This is why living deliberately is absolutely fundamentally critical, essential, because when you can start to operate from a present moment perspective and live deliberately, then every choice and every decision is conscious. Guess what? Conscious, deliberate decisions don't incur karma. I can feel the megalomaniac in me coming to life. Like, oh, I can get away with murder. No, not quite. But yeah, you actually could. What would that scenario look like? Well, this will help you understand karma a little bit. So let's say I found myself in a dangerous situation where I am confronted by a physical threat that is committed to my destruction, my demise. Well, in that scenario, when I feel their full-on commitment to my downfall, then I'm clear there's only one resolution to this conflict, and that is your ass is grass. So if I had to take some sort of a radical action to protect myself, if you ever find yourself in that situation where you have to take action to protect your physical body, be clear, be certain, be decisive in the action you take. Do not waver, do not doubt, be all in with this is what needs to happen now. That is super, super important when you are in a very stressful situation and you don't want to take a certain action, like killing somebody. There are masters, there are gurus that have such mastery of their attention, of their consciousness, that any action they take, it's divine. This is what Paramahansa Yogananda speaks about in the autobiography of a yogi, is that some of the greatest masters, their methods are very unconventional. My methods are very unconventional. I tend to be aggressive. I tend to be in your face because I often am more committed to your highest and best than you are. I'm holding that space for you to step into being that committed to your own highest and best. So when I take actions with my clients that might seem inappropriate, I am crystal clear this is what needs to happen in this moment to move everything forward. And that's how I avoid accumulating more karma than I already have. Have I always lived deliberately on purpose in my life? No. So guess what? I have a layaway plan. I've got, in Buddhism, they call it like the room with no door. I don't know. It's something along those lines. Basically, it's your skeletons in your closet. That's a good way to describe karma too. So until I was living deliberately in my life, pretty much every action I was taking was accumulating karma that I had to contend with. And it wasn't fun. It still isn't fun. I'm still hashing out some of my karma, but I'm not also incurring more karma on the backside of it. I'm actually a net gain going forward now instead of a deficit, because that's also another great thing to notice about karma is if you wanted to look at it almost like a bank account, right? So we're born with a life, and we have a finite amount of life to give, and so we decide what we want to invest that attention in our life, and when we invest that fully without hesitation, it's a beautiful thing. But if we're going into it half in, half out, right? 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing, that's where the karma ends up accumulating. So we start to get almost like debits and credits. So we come in with credits and then we start to incur the debits. And if you aren't living deliberately more than you are living on automatic unconsciously, then your debits are going to supersede your credits all day long. And you're just going to always be playing catch up with your karma. This explains an average person's life when they're like on a roll, things are going perfectly, even better than they ever imagined. And then next thing you know, wham, they slam into a wall, a totally unexpected wall. And there they are going, what the just happened? Well, what just happened was karma. Karma from a long time ago. And we are frozen. Is it my cruddy internet connection that keeps cutting us out? I apologize for the interruption. All right, we're rounding the corner here. Let's get the ball rolling. Universal. Karma is universal. Number 3. There is no such thing as good karma or bad karma. There is only karma, period. That's it. Karma is a reaction to not living deliberately, not being on purpose in our life. That's how we accumulate karma. And that's all it is. It's just karma. You can judge it all day long if you want. Oh, he got a new car for free. That's good karma. No. He probably gave away a car for free in a past life. So in this life, karma is rebalancing the universe and is like, well, this guy gave away a car for free. So in this life, let's give him a car for free. It's very transactional, I would say, because it's a regulating force, right? It's not playing favorites. You got to remember that about karma. It does not play favorites. The fundamentals apply to all when it comes to that karma. And then on the flip side, right? Like you might see somebody get in a horrible car wreck, a car accident, right? And it's like, oh, and it happens to be a nun who saves orphans and little kittens on the weekends and is the most righteous human being on the planet. And you're sitting there going, oh, that's awful. What did she ever do to deserve that? She's such a good person. Huh? Maybe in her past life, she wasn't. Maybe she was the polar opposite of being a nun. Maybe she was I don't know, what's the polar opposite? A Satanist? I don't know. A nihilist, right? Who knows? But this is the point I want you guys to make about karma. First of all, it's ongoing. I believe we live more than one life. What do you believe? Let me hear from you down below. I love the feedback. I want to know what you guys believe more than I want to share what I believe. That gets boring. But I love hearing what other people believe. I think that's really exciting. Can become a lot of fun too, especially when you stop taking beliefs so seriously and you start having more fun with them and see that they are informing everything in our reality. No good karma or bad karma. There is just karma. Another way to look at this, if we look at it from a physics point of view, is it's cause and effect. So you want to see karma in action? Do you want to see karma in action? Yes? Let me hear from you. All right. So this is a perfect example of karma in action. I have a pen. You see my pen? I'm holding my pen. And now I have to make a decision. What am I going to do with this pen? Well, I could keep holding it, but then my hand's going to be occupied. Won't be able to use my computer. What else could I do besides keep holding it? Well, I could let it go, right? That's a possibility. But what would happen? I don't know. I'm not sure what would happen. I'm actually kind of scared of what would happen. I'm very doubtful of what will happen. I'm certainly not certain about what's going to happen when I let go of this pin. But what will happen when I let go of this pin is I will experience karma, cause and effect. The cause is me letting go of this pin. The effect is simple. Do you want to see what karma looks like? When I let go of this pin, it fell. That's karma, cause and effect. The effect of the cause of me letting go of this pen is it dropped. Now, let's try it again. Maybe I'll get a different result this time. Let go of the pen. No, same thing. That's how predictable karma can be if you decide to take more command of your life from a present moment perspective. That's kind of key because you got to be able to see the karma. And that leads us into our bonus. Who wants a bonus? Let me hear from you down below. Give me a yes. I want the bonus. Yes, I want the bonus. And also, let me hear if you're having any ahas, right? Hashtag found fun gives me a clear indication of what I just said provided value in somebody else's life. And that is my number one goal these days, is to provide so much value that you have no choice but to decide to pay to work with me, because it is so irresistible. But in order for me to get to that place, I got to woo you with all the extraordinary value I have to offer. And I do it through these weekly live authority value videos. No good karma or bad karma. There's just karma. It's cause and effect. Every action has an effect. It's that simple. And it doesn't matter your status in society. It doesn't matter what kind of wealth you have. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It doesn't matter what sex or race. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter. Heck, it doesn't even matter if you physically exist. I can't prove that, but I'm pretty certain that karma still plays out on the astral plane and on the higher planes, and it certainly plays out in the lower realms of creation. The Dante's Inferno, all that jazz. All right, anything else? This is your chance to ask those questions. Is it making sense to you? There is no good karma or bad karma. There's only karma. Karma is cause and effect, directly related to the actions we take in our life. And integrity. That's the other part I forgot to mention. So it's the actions you take and how aligned you are with those actions. So if it happens to be a very questionable action, but deep down intuitively, you're like, this needs to happen, get yourself aligned with that thing. Get yourself on purpose. But really, with any action, I don't expect all of you to be as self-aware as I am. Let's explore. We are exploring 3 things you don't know about karma, but should. Good karma, bad karma. Okay, yes, right. Integrity, action. So when those things are aligned, you're not incurring karma. You're living deliberately. However, and everybody can probably recall a scenario like this. I certainly hope you would. This is how I understand it from observing myself in action. So sometimes when I encounter something I have to do, like I have to buy iCloud storage. Can't stand Apple. They're taking over the world. They're like a $200 trillion company now, and they just keep wanting more and more money. It's like this beast that is insatiable. It just keeps growing bigger and bigger and demanding more and more of us. And then also telling us how we're going to evolve and live according to their profit and loss sheet and their quarterly earnings statement, yada, yada. Oh, did I just rant? Good. I did it on purpose so you could see that I am not aligned with buying iCloud storage. I feel like a sucker. I feel like an idiot. I feel like a prisoner. Bottom line, I'm just not in integrity with that choice. I am out of alignment with that possibility. So, what do you suppose might happen if I bought iCloud storage when I was disgruntled? Do you think it might work out well or not so well? Because I can tell you from firsthand experience, if there's any hesitation going into a decision, taking an action, the flip side is not worth entertaining the indecision. You're better off faking it until you make it when it comes to living deliberately. If you're not sure if this is the right choice for you, decide it is the right choice for you. Do you get how that works? Right? From the inside out. It's not like there's some external authority out here that's going to come walking along and be like, yeah, you are so and so or whatever. I approve of you. I certify you. No, it's not going to work like that. So, my first step when it comes to buying iCloud storage is to handle my own bullshit around that, my own projections, my own limitations regarding everything from big tech to outside multinational corporations. I could go on and on. But you can see how I would be responsible for the outcome. I would be responsible for a poor outcome resulting from me buying more iCloud storage, but not being in integrity with it. I mean, it literally could end up looking like your computer breaks. Karma is super creative. It will find a way. You might have saw that post I put up on the event page. It will find a way, no matter what. So, buckle up, Buttercup. I just watched Below Deck. I did some yacht work as a chef back in the day. It's always enjoyable to see that that world that I left behind to come here and share with you the wisdom I have gained from decades of firsthand experience with the fundamentals of being human, tens of thousands of dollars spent on exclusive coaching with some of the greatest authorities in managing our reality, creating our reality deliberately. And, but beyond all that, the firsthand experience is what I can really lean on, because you can't take that away from somebody. If you experience something, have you ever noticed how hard it is to unexperience it? That's the whole point of being in integrity, right? All right. No more karma. No more karma. No more karma. All right, want a bonus? Drop a bonus down below. Hashtag bonus. Give me some of that engagement so that I can get some reach on this video and more people can hear about karma and how it really functions and stop being afraid of it and start taking command of the process. All right, here's your bonus. This is a big one. Are you ready for this bonus? It is a doozy. Be proactive, not reactive. So if karma is all about cleaning up our past, right? If you've gathered so much from this point, you've gathered that karma is kind of a reaction to the actions we take in our life. They usually they're usually, what was the word I used? They're behind us and catching up with us. So that's why there's a lag. That was the word, lag. There's a lag in the karma, right? That's why somebody that was a really bad person turned their life around and became a nun and a priest and was a really good person. And for a whole year, prayed every day and ate the right food. And then at the end of that year, got in an awful car accident and lost their priesthood. I don't know. Be creative. The universe is totally creative in these stories as they unfold. So, but then you're looking at that a year later going, this poor priest, he's such a good person. He didn't do anything wrong. Well, yeah, a year ago, he was an asshole. A year ago, he was an evil, wicked, awful person. This is the message in Christianity, by the way, in case any of you happen to be Christians. To understand the process is to understand it's not about condemnation, people. You're not doing anybody any favors by condemning the choices they're making in their life. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. As a good Christian, you should know it's not your responsibility to do the judging. That's done by the Almighty, the omnipotent, and it's not our place. So what is our place? What is our role as sons and daughters of the One Most High? Well, it's to hold the space for these people, to hold the space in the, I don't want to use the word because you guys know how much I hate the word hope, but to hold the space in the hope that they'll change their mind. Just like that evil, awful person becoming a priest and turning his life around. We have to hold the space for that to happen. It is our divine responsibility bestowed upon us by our Creator, right? We're not here to condemn our fellow humans and go, oh, that's going to get you bad karma. Oh, that's going to get you good karma. I don't like the way you're living your life. What's the word? Bring it home. Bring that attention home. God, this stupid camera. Me. Why does it keep doing that? I can't wait to watch this video after the fact to see what happens when the camera goes flat. Okay. That's my Facebook group. I'm going to put that up there for right now in case any of you want to see. Oh, and then it pops up in the comments. I absolutely love that. How awesome. So I can even take it down because it's in the comments. So the link to my Facebook, my free private Facebook group, is in the comments down below, which will allow me to remove this. How do I remove it? How do I remove it? Boop. That's it. Be proactive, not reactive. All right, so if karma is about playing catch up with past actions that we did that we weren't in integrity with, can you see how most of us by default are reactive with our karma. We wait for our karma to catch up to us, and then we cry like little babies and act like victims and go, oh, why'd this happen to me? I turned my life around and I was such a good person. I was feeding all the homeless people, and I was giving the little babies candies, and all the animals were safe, and I was taking care of the planet, and I was doing all the right things, and look what happened to me. This is so unfair. No, that's just your just dues from a past action you took. Who knows how far back these things go and how deeply ingrained in our consciousness they are. I mean, lifetimes. You can go back hundreds of lifetimes. That's a stretch. I'm around 100. And even that's a stretch for me. Anyway, so don't be reactive. Be proactive. What does it mean to be proactive? That means you go after your karma. You take the first action. That didn't sound right. Bottom line, I'm saying you go after your karma. Be proactive. You know what you've done in the past. You know what you were in integrity with. You know what you weren't in integrity with. Let's not play games here. Let's not pretend like you did that thing. You kissed that girl. You took that substance. You said that nasty thing about that person that wasn't present. And now you're regretting it. If you haven't already buried it in the sand as if it didn't exist. Like, what karma? I don't have any karma. Yeah. Wait until that sand boring giant worm thing pops out and consumes you, eats you alive. That's definitely going to happen. Hi, Yasmin. I'm glad that you joined us. I'm wrapping up here. You can see that I was covering the 3 things about karma that you don't know, but you should. And rather than doing I'm going to recap here in a second, so we can do that. I'm on number 4 right now, which is the bonus. Be proactive. Go after your karma. Clean up your own house. Get your own house in order now, today, and you won't have to deal with it tomorrow in the future when it is compounded. That's another great point, right? When you're proactive about your karma, it's less painful. When you're reactive about it, which means on some level, unconsciously, you're resisting it. You're like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I'll never go there. I'll never go there. Every time you reject something, you are empowering it. And it's building. Its force is building and building and building and building. And then it explodes. And that's reactive karma, right? So if you want experiencing your karma to be less painful, be proactive about it. All right, let me see what's going on over here. What is Yasmin saying? Karma is great to me. Well, I would say that's a great belief you have. And in fact, I'm going to steal it because I love that. Can you see how believing karma is great to me is responsible for the experience you're having in your life? That's it. And that's what's awesome. But beyond the belief that karma is great to me, we have to also grasp the reality of what karma is. And have you ever had an experience that gave you evidence that was contrary to your comment? This is always, it's always great to you. I love it. Well, my job is not to change your mind, Yasmin. It is to certainly inspire you to consider that we live in a relative universe. This is what Einstein discovered through the general theory of relativity. We live in duality. So asserting a reality that is all one way or another, it's not really realistic. And I'm not trying to discourage you here. I'm giving you a little dose of what I have come to discover when it comes to the fundamentals of being human. We live in a relative universe of duality. So we have a night and we have day. We have up and we have down. So we have good karma and bad karma. But if you listened earlier, there's no such thing. What I'm trying to say here is that our experiences in life balance out. They're not all bad and they're not all good. It just is an impossibility when it comes to the mechanics of how it all works. So let me see. This is fun. I like having a conversation here. Be good to nature. Yes, 100%. Listen, I could actually kind of cry. Somebody was talking about this not too long ago about how much nature has tolerated from us human beings. I mean, the immense level of tolerance not to just want to wipe us off the face of the earth. So absolutely, show appreciation, show gratitude, especially nature. Be generous. Wonderful, wonderful advice, Yasmin. I appreciate it. Now, I'm not sure what you mean here about the no to-do list. I'm going to guess that has something to do with living in the present moment. I don't know. I very much value and respect our veterans as well. Basically, anyone that devotes their life to serving something greater than themselves. That's what we're really talking about. There are lots of kinds of veterans besides military veterans. Take care of the weak. Yeah, well, it starts by taking care of the weak inside of us, unfortunately. But when you say take care of the weak, this is an interesting exploration to have. What does that look like? In my world, taking care of the weak means empowering them, bringing their attention to the reality that they're not as weak as they believe they are, that they actually are quite powerful. Again, going back to that balancing equation, right? If somebody's in my face asserting that they're weak at everything, I'm not going to buy it. I just won't, because I know the fundamentals. I know the mechanics, and I know balance supersedes all of our desires. So no matter how much we desire to be all of one thing, that's just not possible in a relative universe. Now, in another dimension, in another reality where duality doesn't reign, who knows? But we're not there. We're here on Earth where we have night, day, hot, cold, up, down, happy, sad, success, failure. You see how they're all in a relationship? Everything is relative to a relationship. All right. But absolutely. I'm going to say, I guess you said taught. My father taught me early. That's awesome that you had a great relationship with your father. It always warms my heart when I see a healthy father-daughter relationship because, on a karmic level, it plays out in our relationships big time. And so a lot of being proactive with our karma is being proactive with our relationships. So when you deliberately, on purpose, cultivate a healthy relationship, it tends to lead to great results, good karma, if you will. I so appreciate you being here. Yasmin, let's jump on the last slide here. This is my ask for everyone that has been here today. And I'm not just asking, I'm also giving you something in return. So please join my free private Facebook group. Okay, that's not supposed to be titling. Let's do crawler. Please join the slow crawler. Please join my private Facebook group by answering all the member questions leave a hashtag done right down here on this video down below to let me know. When I see it, I'll reach out with my calendar link. I'll reach out. When I see it, I'll send you a personal message with my calendar link to schedule a complimentary firsthand experience of a present moment perspective. All you have to do is go join my private group and answer those questions. Seems like a pretty easy action to take with a great return, because having that experience of a present moment perspective will change your life permanently. And it's only 15 minutes. That's all I need to get you into a present moment perspective. And when you have a taste of that, there is no turning back. Where's this thing here? That is my Facebook group. So you can click on that, I believe. It should be easily clickable. And if not, it throws it up in the comments. You can find the link there. You can always just go search for it too. I believe there's a link on my profile, maybe not, but the Found Fun Discovery Method Forum. That's my private Facebook group. So do that for yourself. And where are we leaving off? Because I fell short here on my slides. So give me 1 second here. Let me look at what I'm leaving off. What am I leaving off? No, that's pretty much it. Awesome. Well, listen. I didn't go anywhere. All right. I covered everything. So quickly to recap, right? 3 things that you don't know about karma, but you should. Number 1 is it's not personal, it's impersonal. Let me run back through these real quick here. Boom, boom, boom. You can see these too, Yasmin, if you're there real quick. Number 1, are you kidding me? No way. Not right now. All right. Number 1, it's not personal, it's impersonal. We're talking about karma, right? Right? 3 things you don't know about karma, but should. Number 1, it's not personal, it's impersonal. Number 2, it is universal. There is no escaping karma, no matter how wealthy, how prosperous, how evolved, how enlightened, how far away from your problems you are, what country you live in, what status, what education you have, it doesn't matter. There is no escaping your karma. So keep that in mind. All right, number 3. There is no such thing as good karma and bad karma. There's just karma. Cause and effect. Every action you take in your life results in karma, and that is determined on the degree to which you are deliberate and on purpose in those actions. So do yourself a favor and get in integrity and be aligned with the actions you take in your life, especially if they're questionable actions. That's when your integrity is going to make all the difference in the end result of the action you take. And, and then the bonus, right? Be proactive, not reactive. Go after your karma. Don't wait for your karma to come after you. Awesome. And I don't get to show you my little... No, what did happen? I don't get to show you my little tagline, so I'm just going to say it to you right here, right? I'm going to look at it real quick here. The fastest way to get to where you want to in life is with a guide who has been there before you. I so appreciate all of you being on here. If you haven't caught the whole video, go check out the replay. participate in the comments. Go join my private Facebook group so that I can gift you a complimentary firsthand experience of a present moment perspective over the phone, in person, one-on-one. Until next Thursday, catch me every Thursday here on my profile, on my page, on YouTube, live streaming value video based on the fundamentals of being human. Go out, enjoy experiencing your karma, be deliberate about the actions you take in your life, and as always, stay aware, take care.